What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for watching today. My name is Michael Baxey. If this is your first time joining us, smash that subscribe button. If you're into anything automobiles, especially tuner cars, this is the spot for you. Today we got a little update addressing a couple of issues that was happening last time I took my car out to the track. I got another track day coming up real soon, so I wanted to take care of these things before we headed back out. We're going to be looking at a grill install and the Stage 3 Acuity Shifter upgrade. Super exciting. Let's get to it. Alright, so to start today's video, we're going to do an unboxing of the Stage 3 Acuity Shifter. Unfortunately, it's such a beautiful piece, but it really gets hidden away underneath the center console. And once you have it installed, you never really get to appreciate it again, except for the amazing shifts, of course. But we're going to do an unboxing of that, and then we're going to take everything out to Dr. Drew to get it all installed. Let's go. All right, let's get to the unboxing here. This is the unboxing of the Acuity 10th generation Civic Stage 3 complete shifter kit. This will be going into my 2018 Civic Type R. Really excited, waited a long time for this to come in. Let's open up and take a look. Forgive my microphone wire here. Got to be careful not to cut it. Okay, very nicely packed. It's got some foam, trying not to make a mess. All right, let's see what else is in the box. Cool little keychain and air freshener. Starting to see that more and more with other companies. Mishimoto does that as well. See, we got another small box here. We'll find out what that is. Another one here. Make sure we're not missing anything. Okay, that looks like all of it. All right, so this first small box here looks like that's the shift linkage bushing upgrade. Very nice. One thing I've always liked about Acuity and some of the other products I've seen them put together is the quality is always top notch. Packaging is always very nice. Put that to the side. I think this is probably the shift knob that comes along with it. Although I'm probably not going to be using this shift knob because I've already got my Mishimoto weighted shift knob. Yeah, that's probably what it is. Let's take a look. Yep, it's not bad, you know, it looks all right, but it just, you know, looks a little too normal for my taste. But we'll see. May try it out for a little bit until I decide to stick with my other shift knob. All right, let's get to the main unboxing. All right. Very nice, okay, and there is the shifter assembly. This thing is no joke. This replaces the entire factory shifter unit. Okay, bolts, stickers, more foam. I think that's all of it. Okay, get this out of the way. Everything is nicely sealed and packed. Looks like they kept it closed to keep the grease from getting all over the place, which I can definitely appreciate. There's one of the arms there. This is part of the adjustment. So we're going to go see Dr. Drew again today, who's going to be doing this install for me. This is not an install video. This is more of a product unboxing, and then Part 2 of this video will be impressions after it's been installed. I'll get you guys some better close-up pictures of this shift linkage partly assembled, and then we're going to go see Dr. Drew. Okay, there is the shifter, very loosely partially assembled, but as you can tell by the construction, this is a very, very robust shift linkage system. It's a complete replacement of the factory shifter. As mentioned before, a lot of the plastic, actually just about all of the plastic pieces in the stock shifter, even for the Civic Type R, are going to be replaced with this unit right here. So I'm going to pack everything up into the Type R. We're going to go for a little drive, and we're going to go see Dr. Drew. He's going to throw this in the car for us, and then I will be giving you an impression. All right, guys, so none of that stuff happened. We never made it to Dr. Drew. He never installed that shifter. It was partly my fault because I thought I had an appointment with him on a Monday. It was actually on a Tuesday. But actually what I ended up doing is I ended up tearing the car apart myself and installing the shifter. It took the entire day, and I apologize I didn't get any video on it. I was just so engulfed with trying to get it done because that's my daily driver, and you know, I had to make sure I had a car to drive for the next day. So I also have another upgrade that I did on my own, just to address another issue I was talking about the last time I took the car out to the track. Some of the cooling issues I was having. I got a new front grille on the car, so let's take a look at that. I did do the install myself. I didn't get a video on that either for the same reasons as last time. It's a little difficult to do all that when, you know, you have to rely on getting your car ready for the next day when it's your daily driver. I apologize, guys. I'll try and be better about that, but I also wanted to make sure that everything was buttoned up before track day, which is coming up in only a couple of days. So let's go take a look. All right, there it is, the FKX Racing Front Grille for the Civic Type R. Actually, I believe this grille fits all 10th gen Civics, if I'm not mistaken. But this is more of a placeholder for me. I've got a different grille ordered and on the way. It's just, you know, it's on back order, so it's not going to get here for a couple of months. But if you guys don't recall, when I was last at the track, I was having a couple of issues. So this video update for you guys today is really to address the two biggest problems that I was having. With the Acuity shifter, that was hopefully going to address the fourth gear lockout and second gear grind that I know some of you are experiencing. This grille is to help with the cooling because I do have this giant Mishimoto front mount intercooler. That license plate will come off during race day, by the way, guys, so don't worry about that. But the stock grille almost covers the entirety of the radiator, which is right behind that, and no air is getting around that Mishimoto intercooler because it's so big. Let me show you the stock grille and you'll see what I mean. Alright, so there's the stock grille there, and you'll see, you know, probably 2/3 or at least half of the entire top of that grille is covered. So it only left a very small opening to get any air to the radiator behind it. And when you compare that to the aftermarket one, look how much bigger an opening that is. So that should definitely make a positive difference in the airflow getting to the radiator, and hopefully keep things a lot cooler than they have been. Alright, so now we're going to jump into the car and I'm going to give you a driving impression on that new Acuity Stage 3 racing shifter. I'm really excited about this, and full disclosure, I've actually had the shifter in there now for a couple of weeks. You know, when it was brand new, everything was really stiff, and I think that's also because of the big change over the stock shifter, but It's a little bit more broken in now, so I think this will give me a better idea how to explain to you guys how it feels after having the shifter for a little bit, because that was part of my consideration whether to go with the Stage 2 or the Stage 3 shifter. I didn't want something overly stiff for a daily driver, so let's go check it out. So here is the Acuity Stage 3 shifter installed. I know you guys can't see what's going on underneath, but I can't tell you how crazy and how impressive that setup looks as compared to a stock car. It's absolutely incredible how much more precise the shifts feel, how short they are. It says it shortens everything by about 30% over the standard Type R. It feels a lot shorter than that. But just take a look at this. I don't know if you can tell just by the camera, but I mean that is crazy short. And you know, it definitely feels a lot stiffer from side to side. It definitely takes more effort going forward and backward, you know, and this feels better now. This feels a little bit easier to shift than it did when I just did the install. So, you know, as you can tell probably by my motion, it takes some effort to get it in gear, but it feels like it's going to be a lot more difficult than it actually is. That's why I got the Mishimoto weighted shift knob, because I feel like it helps me with the throws. I mean, it feels amazing. It almost feels like a sequential shifter at this point. It's so short. Pretty crazy. But let's go for a drive and let me give you my impressions. All right, guys, so here we go. We are just rolling out of the neighborhood using my new Acuity Stage 3 shifter for the 10th gen Honda Civic. And let me know what you guys think about this new camera angle. I'm trying something a little different. Let me know what you think about it, if you like this angle better, or if you like the you know, the side view angle that I normally have in my videos in the car. I'm just trying out some different things, seeing what looks better for you guys on video, but I always appreciate your feedback. But so as I'm leaving the neighborhood here, you know, the shifter feels pretty freaking great, actually. The shifter feels really, really good. So the throws are really short, and as I mentioned earlier, the throws are closer to, or Acuity says the throws are 30% shorter at its shortest setting, which I have it at. I set everything to its shortest just to see how big a difference it actually makes. And it's crazy how short it feels now compared to the stock shifter. And the stock shifter didn't feel like it was crazy long, but my main motivation for doing this mod is, you know, if you recall from my video of my first track day at Thunder Hill a few weeks ago, I had problem with fourth gear lockout. And I know that's a problem some other owners have been experiencing. That was definitely a problem that I experienced while I was on the track, which was not good, because I almost ran into a major problem because of the fourth gear lockout. I shifted from fifth and I was trying to go into fourth on the back straight, and it wasn't going into fourth. So in an effort to try and get it into fourth, I missed fourth gear altogether, and I ended up putting it in second gear. Now, thank God by that point I had slowed down so much that when I did accidentally put it in second gear, it did rev really high up, all the way to red line, because I wasn't trying to go into fourth gear. But I caught it and put the clutch back in when I realized I was in second gear. But that easily could have been an over rev situation, which could cause all kinds of problems for your engine, guys. You definitely don't want to over rev your engine. But thankfully I caught it. But that was my biggest motivation for this mod here, was to try and alleviate that. And what I can tell you now is even just driving it around on regular streets, it feels like a sequential shifter. If you guys ever see those sequential shifters in WRC, World Rally Challenge, the shifter is like just very short motion forward and backward, and there's no clutch for those guys. It's just a shift forward and a shift back, instead of having the paddle shifters up here, because their movements are so violent. They have to have a shifter down off to the side and not on the steering wheel, because there's just too much going on to use the shifter on the steering wheel. So they got the shifter down where we have it, but it's a sequential shifter without the clutch. This is what that feels like now, except of course there is still a clutch, but the movement is so short. I mean, it's amazing. Once we get going here, I'm about to jump on the freeway, you'll get a better sense hearing the engine rev up and down, how quickly the shifts are happening now. And that's not exclusively to upshifts, that's on the downshifts as well. All right, rolling onto the freeway. And that's the thing, shifts are so effortlessly fast now. I don't know if you guys are picking that up in the audio, but I'm not trying to shift fast, but it's just happening because of how much shorter the throws are. And, you know, full disclosure, I've actually got a modified clutch master cylinder that I haven't yet installed. Wow, that is crazy short. That is crazy, crazy short. Try it on a couple of downshifts here. Wow. And you know, I'll tell you, as I mentioned earlier, I had this shifter in. I installed it a couple weeks ago, and now I think it's actually fully broken in, but I wasn't being aggressive with the shifts when I first installed it, mainly because I was getting used to a new shifter, which feels wildly different from the stock shifter. But also it gave a little bit of time for the springs and the bushings to all kind of settle and break in a little bit, you know, and just, you know, adjusted a learning curve, just make sure I was comfortable with the shifter before I started shifting it more aggressively. But now that I've had this for a couple of weeks, I feel much more confident shifting up and shifting down even quicker than I was before. And to compare this to stock, I would say me trying to shift fast with the stock setup is still not as quick as a moderately attempted quick shift with the Stage 3 Acuity full shifter kit. It is very, very different. Gosh, that was almost a tongue twister. I hope that actually came out right, but I hope you guys get the gist of it. Alright, that is it for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, smash that subscribe button. If you're into anything automobiles, especially tuner cars, this is a spot for you. And if you like today's video, I'd appreciate it if you leave a like, leave a comment, let me know what I can change, let me know how I can improve. I'm doing this all for you guys. So, as always, stay hungry, stay fast, stay tuned. I'm Michael Baxley, and I'm out. 'Cause I know